how are we supposed to achieve anything at all if we don't have a formula? So this formula I started to develop a couple years ago, and I've refined it here in the last 9 or 10 months, and I'm excited about it. It's a formula about achievement. It's called FFA, which is Functional Formula for Achievement. And the functional formula for achievement works in anything that you want to achieve, a goal, an aspiration, a desire, a dream you have. This happened to me when I was having a lot of trouble after I left Japan. I was living there for 3 years, fighting in mixed martial arts. And I really wanted to go to Brazil and travel there and be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu student. I didn't have any money. I had just finished up in Japan. I'd used all my savings. I had been working the whole time, but now was the time to move to move to Brazil. But actually I broke my hand. So my dad said, hey, listen, come back to the US, stay with me for a little bit and heal up your hand before you go move to another country again and try to train in another martial art with your hand broken. I agree with my dad. I stayed there with my dad. I relaxed. I got my hand healed. But what I realized during that time was something was keeping me there. I began to procrastinate, and I didn't go to Brazil immediately after my hand was healed. So I started to develop this formula. I started to realize, well, what's going to get me to go to Brazil? How can I start to go to Brazil? I have all these excuses. I'm blaming it on money. I'm blaming it on my hand. He needs to heal a little bit more. And what I realized was I really need to develop a formula. So I started writing stuff down. And when I started writing stuff down, I was also reading a couple books about goal setting and achieving things and all of that. But none of them could really direct me into actually achieving the goal of getting to Brazil, stopping my procrastination, stopping blaming on my hand, and stopping with the excuses that I had in my head and that I was even telling my friends and family. So when I started writing things down, I wrote down what it was that I wanted to do, when I really wanted to go to Brazil, how I thought that I might be able to do it. And this began the development of FFA, which is Functional Formula for Achievement. So FFA consists of 4 parts. And that's what's come about over the last few years, these 4 parts. One is what, and what means what exactly it is you want to achieve. In my case was I wanted to move to Brazil, I wanted to live in Brazil, become a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu student, and I wanted to achieve the black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, okay? 2, how? How was I gonna get to Brazil? Well, I needed to figure out money. So in my case, I realized, well, if I started looking for teaching English jobs, so English teaching jobs, I could actually move to Brazil, similar to what I did in Japan, teach English and be able to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at night after all my English classes, okay? So the how is very, very, very important. 3 is equally important. 3 is when. You can't just sit on your goal and try to think about achievement and think that you're gonna make it on your own. You need to write down specifics. So what changed my life was writing down when I was gonna go. I said, you know what? You're going by December 31st. No way you are staying here more than 1 day after December 31st. And it was hilarious because I actually went out to Brazil a couple days afterwards. I was mad at myself, but it turned out that I was spending New Year's with some friends. So I wanted to postpone the trip for 2 more days. But luckily, I had booked my ticket looking at my when sheet and looking at what I had written down on that paper and knowing that I had to get there before the end of the year. So just a couple days late, still made it. That was my when. And number 4 is very, very important. Number 4 is who. Who are you gonna tell about this? Who's gonna hold you accountable? I told my teachers, I told my martial arts teacher, I told my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu teacher, I told my friends. I had them hold me accountable and make sure that I went. So when you're ready for FFA and you're ready to get ready for these 4 steps in the FFA, you're gonna be ready for achievement as well. And don't forget, you deserve more.